So this video is good news for Sony, but it's probably on the light-hearted side of things. So I've just come from Kotaku where I read an article, and it's about the PSVR and Japan. And just quickly, before we jump into it, we know that the PSVR is a quality piece of kit. It's a fairly solid VR system. But unfortunately for Sony, it hasn't exploded sales-wise. Now, I've made videos in the past where I've gone into detail about why I think it hasn't exploded sales-wise, and a lot of it I think does come down to availability of the system. There are stock supply issues. Now, the system has been out and available in Japan for quite some time now, and it has everywhere else as well. But like everywhere else, Japan has also had stock supply issues. But as of last week, they've actually received a new shipment. And I just want to point out that while I was reading through this article, I was actually chuckling pretty much like a schoolgirl because it was quite amusing. And I didn't realize the PSVR was so popular over there, but it must be huge. It seems to be very popular because people had been lining the street at major retailers for apparently hours. And we even had raffles. Major retailers such as Big Camera and Softmap passed out raffle tickets in the lines. Now these raffle tickets, they weren't to win a PSVR. It was to win the opportunity to buy a PSVR. So that kind of goes to show how popular the unit is over there. It seems to be very popular. Now, unfortunately, come the end of the day, people still missed out on the PlayStation VR, which goes to show that Sony is still having stock supply issues with the unit itself. But, you know, at least there's a demand for it, at least in Japan, and I don't know if it's just a Japan thing, because they do seem to like kind of left of field ideas, and things that aren't necessarily popular in the Western world seem to explode over in Japan. So maybe the hype levels over there aren't a good representation of what the hype levels are for the rest of the world as far as PSVR goes, because I sure as hell down here in Australia haven't seen anybody lining up for PlayStation VRs at my local game store when they get new stock. Nor have I heard it happening anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure it does happen, but by the sounds of it, it was quite the event over in Japan when they got new PlayStation VR stocks. So it's good news for Sony, and hopefully they can carry through the hype, and hopefully they can sort out their stock supply issues for PlayStation VR, because I still believe that the PlayStation VR does have a future. I think it's going to be a slow burn, but I do think the PlayStation VR is the better positioned VR headset. Of course, I'm referring to the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive being the competition. I think the PlayStation VR is positioned better than them cost-wise, and it's on a platform that is fairly mainstream. It's a lot more mainstream than PCs, well, in my opinion anyways. But let me know what you guys think down below. Have you had any issues getting PlayStation VRs where you live? Would you line up outside a retailer if you heard they were getting more stock of PlayStation VRs? And would you participate in a raffle for one? Let me know what you think down below, guys. And remember, go check out the article. I found it to be quite humorous and good news for Sony at the same time, but go check it out. And as always, guys, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. My name's Sully, this is One Guy's Opinion, and we're gonna talk in the next video.